Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Mitch here again with another Joe Speed review. And we are down in St. Joe today checking out some really beautiful cars. Big thanks for these guys for inviting us down. So let's just get in and just kind of check it out, talk to some people and see what's really happening down here. Paul, Mitch.
Mitch, nice meeting you.
So we're here with Paul, and he's got fastback Cobra. Oh, it's so beautiful. So yeah, he's telling us a little bit about it.
67, I built it from the ground up, so it's got a 302 motor, which is stroked out to 347 stroker motor, so it's got 450 horsepower. So everything's been done from it, from the transmission. It was turnkey motor, everything from the ground up I did. It took 2 years to build it, and I've had it done for about 10 years, and only put 1,000 miles on it, so I rarely get it out.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Oh goodness. It's like every time I look at it and then I look away and I look back, it's like it gets prettier. Oh, it's so beautiful, man.
Well, thank you.
Oh my word. So you said it took you how long to build?
2 years.
2 years.
Time we went through everything and pieced it together and took our time, and I think it says it all by 2 years into it. So
yeah, no kidding. So as far as the paint goes, is this repainted or is this original, or have you guys just paint corrected?
Repainted. I bought the rolling chassis down in Tennessee when I first got it, so it was basically he had it painted and had wheels on it, and it was just gutted out, which I wanted. Then I put everything I wanted into motor, rear end, new front end, and everything else on it. So
that's perfect for the body. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! So all stock interior as well. You kept your original in there, or did you go?
No, actually, a lot of stuff is still stock, but I put kind of racing seats in it.
Okay.
It's got like the original Shelby type steering wheel and dash and all that stuff, but everything else is transmission, is Tremec transmission in it, and obviously not the stock motor in it. So.
Right. Oh my word! And only 1,000 miles. So do you just, is she a grocery getter, or do you take her out?
No. Yeah. And that's why. Nate here pulled over seeing this car in my driveway for the last 5 years.
Oh, that's
seeing
cool.
it in the screen area of my garage. He stopped over. He said, "Hey, come out. You know, you're doing a show here on today." So I told him I'd come out. So I brought it out. So it got me out. So I finally got. I think I've only had it out 3 times this year.
Oh, glad
this
you
is
did,
the third
man.
time.
Glad
well, thank you.
It's so beautiful, man. Oh my word. Well, what year is it?
It's 59. Started out in life as an all-original 59, and it was started out to be a restoration job, believe it or not.
Okay.
And when we went through media blasting, realized how much damage was done to it. It was time for a change in life. So we started. It was a 2-year process to go and a daily. We worked on it for 2 solid years. But
I know we're not gonna be able to hear anything.
So essentially, it was. Everything is on it, other than the body, which is about 60%, 70% still intact. Everything else on it is brand new on it. So it's brand new frame. It's a setup for a C4, but it's built for the LS3 engine. We had to widen out the back end because I wanted bigger tires in the back end for the amount of horsepower. There's literally 200 more horses underneath the hood now than what originally was underneath the car. And so the back end of the car is 4 inches wider to the whole thing. The guy that did it did absolutely seamless job on it. But my goal was to keep that same iconic look, but to keep it, to update it. So I started. So when we basically cleaned the whole car up, I started out with the bronze color, which I absolutely love the bronze color. We call it LeBron's. And it took us about he and I took about a month, and it was to come up with the white color, but it's essentially the GM Pearl white. But the gauges were black, which are original. I whited those out to go with the white. you know, we had to send the bumpers. The bumpers are all original. We had to send those guys out. When you have to keep your car in a high rev just to move it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Don't stop.
Right. It's impossible to start. But we essentially upgraded everything on the car. So, you know, I really like it. It's just so. All right. It's just classy, and that's what I was looking for. Just something a little classy, just to update something old to something new.
Well, and that's what I really like is that it has that like whole feel to it. Like I'm walking it the whole time, and then I get here and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful. So as far as like internals go, you know, media aspects of it. I know you said you updated it, you brought it into the picture. Did you do anything as far as like stereo goes?
Well, I put a stereo in this whole thing, and actually I have not listened to it, so I don't know how well it works. I don't think it works all that well. There was an antenna on it. We deleted the antenna, so it's buried back in one of the quarter panels. But it's got Bluetooth. It's got you know, I can update. It's got electronic start on it instead of key start.
Oh, nice.
I did drop a 6-speed in the whole thing. But it's essentially it's everything is still that kind of iconic look, just updated. It's got an AC in it now, which it did not have. Obviously, we've got a digital engine output on an engine, but it's got to be transferred into an analog for the gauges. So again, all the gauges they're original gauges, but so we had to make some alterations with that. Had to put a smaller steering wheel in there because I had to get in that car. I designed the seats and the interior of this car and then had somebody make it. So I literally had one person do everything for me, with the exception of the interior. And I had 3 or 4 different groups do all that, and we had to pull it all together and make it happen.
So how long does the project take from beginning to end?
So on this particular, it literally was, so I took this car down to the guy to start the restoration project at the end of September of 2014.
Okay.
And literally almost to the day at the end of September of 2016, we pulled it off. I was driving this car up and down McKinley Highway in Mishawaka, and it was spitting a little bit of ice on the road just to make sure this thing was road ready. I put it on my trailer. I took it to a car show up in Midland the very next day, and it stayed inside for 3 days. But it literally took 2 solid years, and the guy worked 2.5 days, or I'm sorry, 2.5 days, 5.5 days a week on this car. I mean, he literally did everything. We took this thing all the way down.
It looks like it's been so thoroughly put together. I mean, it just looks beautiful.
He did a fantastic job. I polished as much as I possibly could. I was the ordering department. We sit around and talked about, you know, what are we looking for, you know, what's down the road, some of our decisions to make, and I would go home and order up what I need, and it literally was, you know, it was kind of a, I don't want to call it seamless, but it was kind of a seamless process, where we always had a discussion once or twice a week in person about what's our next goal, what's our next steps, what are we looking down the road for. And I mean, he literally spent 2 months, 3 months working on the body, putting it all back together. Because again, these 2 quarter panels back here are brand new, and we had to fit these things in and had to sculpt them in. This quarter panel up in the front was completely destroyed, which I already knew, and we had to put that all back together. And it looks so easy. I mean, you look at guys on TV, they're slapping these babies together in, what, 7 days?
A couple of days, yeah. Exactly.
But we literally just, I mean, everything just took time. And this thing has so many coats and underneath this thing to keep everything as smooth as possible.
How long did the paint take? I mean, the paint alone, it's like...
You know, I don't, that's a good question. I know it was a 2-week process just for painting. You know, I highly recommend the guy. Will did an amazing job. Very methodical about when, you know, redoing cars and things. He's got a shop down there. He does a lot of things.
Yeah, you want to give him a shout out? What's his shop?
So, Will Haley, and he's down at, where's he at now? He is down at, I think it's called Guardian Collision now.
Okay.
But at down in Mishawaka. But he does an amazing job. He wants to make it right.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
it shows.
You know, it's would I do this again?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I love the process. I love the process of putting things together and thinking about stuff. So the only thing that we really didn't do that is designed for this car was actually a mirror on the other side, which we added to that just because I wanted to balance out the car. But it's just, you know, when you redo cars, it's a constant of, you know, who supplies this, who can do this right. The dashboard, the dash up there is all formed leather, but it took 4 times to get it right. You know, by the time you get it, you send it back, they redo it again. They got to get the right cowl, they got to get the right die, they got to get everything else. It's a problem. I have even the chairs alone. I had I got another set of chairs down in my basement, identical to these, but I couldn't get them to fit in. Something was just slightly off, and I just didn't want to wedge it in there. So these actually work out pretty darn well. But yeah, so you start gathering.
Right.
You gather up all kinds of things along the way.
So why Vet? Why a Vet? Why restore the Vet? What is that? Where's the significance to you?
Oh my God, how far back do you want to go? Well, the cool thing about this car is I was born towards the end of March, or very end of March, of '59. This car was born 2 weeks later, in '59. So that was pretty cool. So I had this between a Jaguar, like a '59, '58 drop top, and I happened to see this one, this Vet. And so I'm like, you know, do you do something, you know, with proper, you know, that certain kind of proper look to it? But then I thought, you know, if I do a Corvette, I can make it, I can modify it, make it what I want.
Right.
So I opted. I thought you could probably get more parts for it. And so that was kind of the coin toss. Years ago, I was looking at a Jaguar, to redo a Jaguar. End up buying a horse over the whole thing. Not the Jaguar. But you know, I just happened to run across it, and I mean, I can go back even farther of the whole reason why I wanted to get into cars. But you know, I just happened to run across it. It just everything just seemed to fit. It just seemed to work. But I bought this thing in 2008, so I didn't get this thing started. I literally traveled around with this car, you know, in my trailer, in my garage, parked, didn't do anything with it until 2014. But I told the guy, when we start, we ain't stopping. I just don't want to stop.
So what year is it?
It's 09.
09, okay. And so as far as, like, you know, without telling all the trade secrets, what kind of stuff have you had done to it?
It's basically heads, cam, exhaust, a large stall.
Okay.
It's got a 3700 stall in it. Intake.
Is this the body, like how it is?
Yeah, everything's stock on it,
Really?
exterior-wise, other than the wheels.
It's got some hips on it, man. Golly. So it's a night car. It's a night car. So how long have you had it?
I've had it for 4-5 years.
4 or 5 years. Okay. So, and as far as like so obviously I don't think this is your daily driver, right? Or is it?
It kind of is.
It kind really. How does she handle the wintertime?
I don't drive in the winter.
Okay.
But in the summer,
Summer.
pretty much daily.
Okay. And as far as like, because I know you got a lot of woe in there, or a lot of go in there. Taking her down, like these, how do the brakes handle?
Good.
Yeah, just fine. Really? Do you track it at all?
Yeah.
You know.
It's really a drag car.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like it.
Oh my word.
But there's suspension work done on the back
Okay.
to hold the rear end down, and
Oh, that is beautiful, man. So you get in, you don't have any cage or anything like that, right?
No.
Just, oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. So you got the Continental. So, and this is full rear wheel.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, so you can't even tell. That's beautiful, bro. There's nothing that indicates that there's trouble coming in this car. That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. Goodness gracious. Huh?
How'd you let me beat you?
First of all, let's talk about we needed a 40 roll because
Oh, we need a 40.
Yeah.
No, you don't want no 40 roll, bro. You don't want a 40 roll.
okay. Okay.
I don't think you want a 40.
That's beautiful, man.
I was hoping to have my wheels by today, but they're taking a while.
What are you getting in?
They're RC comp, 5 in the front, 17 by 5 in the front, 17 by 10 in the rear.
Okay. Wow, you're getting some meats on here.
With ET Street R's, 275 ET Street R's on the back, 26 inch tall. And that'll be on the car all the time.
So at any point in time, it could happen.
Yeah. Like right now, it's about 100 horsepower pulled out first and second gear. But if traction control's left on, it's pulling quite a bit out of first and second with this setup.
That's insane. So you don't spin like crazy though?
Not the traction control set.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, dude. Thank you so much, man. She is gorgeous. Hey, what year is it?
2016.
2016 ATS-V. So what kinds of things have you had done to her? I mean, I can kind of see a few, but...
Yeah, I did a cold air intake, downpipes, a Borla exhaust, and it's got a tune running on 40% ethanol.
Oh my word. Who'd you get it tuned by?
ZZP.
ZZP, okay. Yeah, good company here.
Wyoming. Yep.
Okay.
Not stopping.
Sheesh. Oh my goodness. So you've had it dynoed?
Yes.
Dynoed.
It's 570 at the wheel right now.
570 at the wheel. Goodness gracious. So how long have you had it?
I've had it not quite 2 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. I bought it used. A couple thousand miles is all on it. So.
Okay. So now with the power, again, now this is kind of one of those things, right? So you have the power, you've got all that force, but it's still a Cadillac.
Yes.
Does it ride like a Cadillac?
It rides quite well, actually.
Okay.
And it's got different, suspension modes and things.
Okay,
It's got the
good.
magnetic ride control. So in tour, it's actually pretty tame. And then it's got a track mode and a sport mode, and those are
Okay.
pretty aggressive.
Oh yes, the magnetic ride. So that. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then the
Goodness
track
gracious.
mode, you can go into performance traction management. So there's 5 subsettings,
Okay.
and it gives you more and more, more aggressive upshifts, traction control, lets you slide the wheels a little more as you move up in settings,
Okay.
to where I don't think you're ever quite on your own, but
Right.
you can like swing it out before it takes over.
That'll grab the steering wheel for you.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't really had a course yet, but
Plan on it.
I would like to, because it's such a well-balanced car. It handles great.
So how does she do off the line then? I'm sure you've probably stepped on it once or twice.
Yeah, acceleration is pretty good. With the mods I've got, I'm thinking right around 3.4.
Okay.
I've got the performance data recorder in there, so took it to a drag strip and got that for a 0 to 60, and I hit an 11.2 for the quarter.
Okay. Wow.
Wow. With the
First time out?
with the
Oh,
stock
wow.
tires too. So I need to get a little more practice on launching, and then try it again with some drag radials.
Okay. And she's automatic
Yes, it's
with
an
the
automatic.
option for paddles.
Yep, it's got paddle shifting, and you can do it with the shift lever too.
Okay, so you can go manual.
Yeah, you just
Like over
pull it to the side, and you can shift that way. You can shift with the paddles.
And does it shift? Does it shift down? Like, does it shift the right way? Because there's a couple of them that have that shifter where you have to still push it up to shift up, versus shifting down to shift down, which
Oh.
feels more natural.
Yeah, no, it's up.
It's up.
Yeah.
Oh my
I've only
God.
used it like once or twice, but yeah, it's you bump it up to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I almost never have it in any of the manual modes. I've paddle shifted it a few times, but
Okay.
I just prefer to leave it.
So what motivated you to go Cadillac? What motivated you to go ATS-V versus CTS-V? And what put you in this?
Well, I'll tell you what. On this one, I wanted the coupe.
Okay.
I definitely wanted the coupe, so you only had one choice with this. The CTS had a coupe, but it was their second gen. I had the base model ATS when it first came out, and just fell in love with the car, the way it handles, and it's so well balanced. And
Yes.
so when I did the V version, I was kind of sold. I wanted to do it. The CTS, I had the third gen CTS, but it's a sedan only. It handles great, but it's a really large car by comparison. So, and about 20 grand more for this, the V. So I mean, it was, but it was really the coupe that sold me.
Gotcha. So this is clearly not, the family doesn't get in this one. This is
Yeah, it's got a back seat, but it might as well not.
Yeah.
I have had people in there, but it's way too cramped.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Awesome, man. Oh shoot. And as far as like I guess interior wise goes, I mean I know you said it rides comfortably. Do you have the the luxury feel of it inside?
Yeah, it's got just about all the options in it. So
you can pretty much, it's like riding a Continental in the body of a Dragon, pretty much.
yeah, I mean it doesn't handle like the old Cadillacs, or ride like them, I should say. They're definitely have changed. About the last 10 to 12 years or so, they've moved the whole Cadillac line is more performance, handling versus the cushy ride that you used to have with them. But
Now I do see quite a bit of carbon fiber bits on here. Is that lip aftermarket as well?
this, yeah, this one here, but the that's stock.
Okay.
So it came with the carbon fiber package, which gives you that. It gives you carbon fiber diffuser, and then the insert on the hood is left carbon fiber.
Okay, gotcha.
This is exposed with the carbon fiber package. The car itself, this whole hood is actually carbon fiber.
It is.
But it's body colored.
Body color. Oh my word, that's
And
awesome.
if you opt for the carbon fiber package, they leave that exposed.
Okay.
And I did a few other cosmetic changes, the mirror caps, and made those carbon and replaced the inlet grill covers here. Those are normally just
Okay, I
black,
wondered
shiny.
about that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so I found a company that made those, so I replaced a few of the bits. It gives it more of a,
Yeah, definitely.
it ties it all together, because it was a mixture of
Body color,
high gloss black
and
plastic and then carbon fiber. So.
well, it is beautiful, man. My brother loves it.
Few moments later.
Alright guys, fast forward to being back home. That was fun. Benton Harbor showed so much love. Cool little event. Thanks Nate for inviting me out, man. That was a cool little event. I really liked it. We had such a nice mixture of vehicles. Like there was a little bit of everything in there for everybody. Talked to a couple people. You know, those cars are so beautiful, man. But anyway, we're back home, so that's another one. Wrap. Peace.